Imagine if you can turn back time. Now imagine if you had no choice. Two pretty distinctive experiences, right? And the latter is what happened in the upcoming gacha game called Reverse 1999. This is a game that differs from any generic storylines as it tampers with the workings of time in a world where arcanists and human coexist. And today I'll be sharing with you 5 essential beginner tips so that you can get a head start in Reverse 1999. The game is honestly pretty immersive, so look forward to its pre-registration opening and global release, guys. Before we start, let's just go through what this game is all about. It is set as a 20th century time travel strategic RPG, quite literally the first of its kind. On year 1999, the storm happens which reverses the flow of time. Forget your grasp of reality and enjoy animations like these.
What?
Gosh dang, they look so good. Follow the footsteps of Vertin and find out the truth behind the storm. The combat is pretty simple. You get to use 3 characters plus 1 substitute in your team. And when I say characters, there are some really creative ones.
Hello? No. Come back.
This happens to be my favorite. You might think that this thing looks like an item you'd have 99 of, but no, it's a full character. Apple, I like to call him. Play. Defeat your enemies by using these cards that combine when 2 identical ones come in contact. You have the attack, buff, debuff, and counter cards. Hold down to see what they do. You gain Moxie as you battle, and you will gain an ultimate card at max Moxie. Every character will have 1 ultimate ability with 2 other abilities that could be attack buffs or debuffs. There's an element system as well, so utilize them well to aid your victory. With all of that said comes with the first essential tip: building your first character. In Reverse 1999, you will be pitched against tougher and tougher enemies as you progress through the story. If you are focusing on progression, you need to focus on building a good character that is able to help you clear out content. As you play through the story, you will obtain a 5-star character named Soneto. She can provide you with the DPS you need throughout the normal story, assuming you are not summoning anyone at all, which I doubt. In any case though, I suggest that you look at who the Rate Up banner will feature first before summoning on any other banner though. The beginner banner, however, features 3 6-star characters, which are Regulus, Eternity, and Lilia. They're all characters that can dish out good damage. Regulus is the more straightforward damage dealer, where she just simply does good damage and also has an evasion gimmick on her ultimate. Eternity has a debuff and attack skill, both of which does good damage. In situations where an attack skill is being weakened, you can simply switch to a debuff skill, which, well, it still does damage. That said, it does take 10% of health away from her though. But that is actually okay because her ultimate also has a heal built into it, so it does help you sustain. Finally, we have Lilia. Out of the 3, she has the highest potential damage output, but she does need to land critical hit, which is tougher to do because you're a beginner, right? But as you progress through the game and you're able to get some good crit rate on Lilia, she will be considered as one of the strongest damage dealers even for endgame. If you strictly gauge her abilities for a beginner, I would say the best one so far would be Eternity. But me personally, I would go for Lilia just because she is pretty good in endgame, right? Again, I'll have to remind you, make sure you know who the Rate Up banner is first, and then see if you want them before you go for the beginner banner. Moving on, we have tip number 2. Get a healer. The first thing to do in the game is to get a good team going, and a healer is pretty much a staple member, especially in Reverse 99 where you will need to have 0 deaths in order to get 3-star clears in a lot of stages. That makes a healer imperative, and you do get a free healer in DK just by logging in for 8 days, so that can be your go-to healer. However, if you're able to get other healers from summoning, you might want to prioritize the better healers in the game because DK is not the best of all time. In any case though, DK herself is still able to do what is asked from a generic healer. She can heal, and she has a cleanse on her ultimate, making her a pretty decent investment for your very first healer. Next off, we have tip number 3. Unlock the Wilderness. Wilderness in this game is basically the idle resource miner we see a ton of in other games. The Wilderness in this game provides you with EXP and Sharpodontes, which are a fancy way to say coins. You will unlock the Wilderness by simply finishing chapter 1. After that, as you progress through the game more, you will obtain materials to upgrade your wilderness. And the main thing you will aim for are the functions that allow you to turn a few common materials into one rare material. It's basically like a combining function, right? This will speed up the process of upgrading your characters, which is why unlocking your wilderness should be a priority rather than forcing a 3-star clear on all stages. Try and just get through chapter 1, get the wilderness unlocked before you worry about having 3-star clears, right? And next off, we have tip number 4, which is regarding the gameplay. I'll go through the basics first. cards. In this game, you're supposed to perform skills to attack, buff, debuff, etc. The main gimmick though is that two identical cards combined will turn into the same card with 2 stars like here. As you upgrade your characters, they might even come with an added special effect on top of increasing the damage dealt if you do combine 2 cards. This means you should try and put the cards together as often as you can. In the tutorial, you are taught to put the cards together by dragging the cards together. But if you do that, you actually waste one of your actions. Using a card is an action, so is moving one. That means instead of moving your cards around too much, try and take the odd card out the way and they'll automatically converge and combine if they're identical. I'm sure this isn't too complicated for you, but what I really do want to highlight is utilizing the card movements to your advantage as well. In the case where you know you'll be defeating a wave and there's a next wave coming, you can defeat them with one card and spend the rest of your actions moving them. That will prepare you for the next wave with a good few opening cards. The stages even in the story do get tougher, so you will have to play smart if you're going for the 3-star clear. On top of that, you can tell what the enemies will be doing with these cards on their head. Make sure to buff your allies or debuff the enemies with the most terrifying stuff going on top of their heads. And the final tip I have is regarding character upgrades. If you are a beginner, focusing on leveling up your character would already suffice. As you hit the max level, you can perform an insight, which basically increases your level limit and unlocks special upgrades for your skill as well. Simply put, focus on trying to get as high level as you can with your characters as you start playing this game. I would suggest getting your first team to Insight level 1 at least. As you play through the story, you'll unlock more and more ways to upgrade them, like Resonate. But that is a bit in the future though. Another way to upgrade your characters are by giving them Sight Cubes, which are basically the gears that give you more stats and special effects. They're available in their shop and you can farm the currencies needed to purchase them too, so just keep playing, guys. And thankfully as well, the duplicate system in this game only increases the multipliers of your skills and such. They don't really drastically change how your characters is played, so don't sweat too much about not obtaining duplicates from the banner. And there you have it. 5 essential tips for Reverse 1999. Another bonus tip here is honestly, just have fun. This game is never meant to be a big time sink where you need to keep your eyes glued to it all the time. The developers has put way more effort in the story, which is in my opinion the main source of enjoyment in this game. I myself have enjoyed every bit of the animation, every bit of the dialogue in this story. You can genuinely see the immersiveness. Every character have their own backstory with their own accent and personality as well to really make this game feel different. It is honestly a breath of fresh air and I just can't stress enough. The voice acting in this game is genuinely one of the most top-notch stuff that I've ever seen in any game I've played. And even simply by just downloading the game and start right away, you are bombarded with action-filled storylines, animations through the roof, and as a British accent enthusiast, they sound lovely.
Say your names, you British government stooges. Say your names, you Manus Vindicte robbers. You banned music. You robbed traders. Our lips are sealed and we wandered.
So yes, from the bottom of my heart, I actually think anyone who plays through this game will genuinely enjoy the storyline. And that is all, guys. Look forward to the pre-registration and global release. And you can find all of their socials in the description, so be sure to drop them a follow for top of the hour news. I hope you guys enjoyed. Take care.